You're listening to Happy Healthy Hormones with Dr. Chris. Are you tired of the short-term patch to your health problems? Is avoiding medications and surgeries important to you? If you answered yes, then your prayers have been answered. Dr. Chris has been helping people transform their health for over a decade. He's a world-renowned health expert who specializes in holistic health. He's a professional speaker, chiropractor, and international best-selling author. It's his mission to help you reach your full God-given potential through holistic health and healing. Get ready to be inspired and transformed. Here's your host, Dr. Chris.
Hey there, everyone. You are listening to the show where disease takes a dive and people come to thrive. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about something that affects millions of women. In fact, it affects men and women, but I see women be affected by this more and more and more. In fact, you can feel like you are going crazy, and really it's just you have something going on inside your body that is real, but it wreaks havoc on your body. And we're talking about the thyroid. So today I want to help you just unleash a couple of secrets to help you start to address your thyroid and finally lose the weight, as well as some other issues that it's probably creating in your life and in your body. So I don't want you to become a victim of a diagnosis. So don't go around being like, oh, woe is me. I have a thyroid issue. This is me. This is my identity. It's just the way it is. Stop that. The sooner you get away from identifying with that diagnosis, the sooner you are going to get better. You know, the people that I always see, and this is research, this is studied, the link and connection between those that identify themselves with a disease or a symptom, those are the people that have a very low likelihood of ever getting well. They have a very low likelihood of ever getting off a medication. In fact, it's almost a 0% chance versus those that say, hey, okay, I understand I have something wrong with my body. There's a dysfunction. There's a dis-ease, not a disease in my body. And there's something I can do about this. Those are the people that get well. Those are the people that thrive. And a lot of times, those are people that actually are able to get off medications. And you look at them a year, 3 years, 5 years from the day they made the decision, and they don't even have a trace of that diagnosis anymore. And so really, thyroid problems, they affect over 27 million people. And the sad part is there's about 50% of the population that are undiagnosed with a thyroid issue. So that's an alarming rate. And I mean, it leads towards all kinds of issues. Some of the most socially disturbing ones are like things like digestive issues. So it'll lead towards constipation. Weight gain is another common one too. So those people that feel like they're unresponsive to workouts and dieting and all that kind of stuff, like oh man, I'm exercising, I'm eating well. My friends over here chugging down a milkshake, eating a pizza, and they're not gaining a pound. In fact, they actually are losing weight. And here I am. I can't even eat more than, a boiled piece of chicken and some salad, and I'm gaining weight. Like, what's going on here? Well, it probably has to do with your thyroid and the imbalance in your body. And then also we're talking about things like hot flashes, mood disorders, infertility. If you're always feeling cold, that cold intolerance, especially the winter months, it gets really bad, almost painful. You start to maybe notice you have a third of your eyebrows starting to disappear. You're starting to have hair loss, or you're just starting to get that brain fog and fatigue. These are all signs that the thyroid is being affected in your body. So what do we do? How is it affecting us? What's really going on there? Well, first off, the big question I always get is the weight loss, right? Because people are like, man, I can't lose the weight. What's going on? That's like most people's focus is they want to lose weight is like one of the most common effects of having thyroid imbalances in your body. So 90% of people that are over the age of 40, especially women, have a thyroid issue. 90% women. That's crazy. Most of us don't even know it. In fact, most of us, I'm talking about women, right? So I'm not a woman, but you know what I mean, right? Like 90% of women age 40 or older have a thyroid issue. And it starts to really affect the hormones. And we're just not talking about the weight hormones, but this is a big concern. And so really it's not that you are deficient in these hormones, but your body has become resistant. There's a difference there. So what do I mean by resistance? Well, there's resistance in leptin and also insulin. So we know what insulin is. That's the hormone that gets released in your body to help regulate your blood sugar, and that's huge in regulating your metabolism and your body's ability to burn fat. But also leptin which basically tells your brain whether or not you're full. And so again, it's a brain chemistry thing, but that's going to also affect your body's ability to lose weight too. Because if you're always eating, never feeling full, never feeling satisfied, plus your insulin levels are all screwed up, so your sugar's out of whack and you're not burning fat and you're just storing fat, that's the perfect storm. That's the years of gaining weight, up and down, yo-yo dieting, destroying your metabolism, and just having nothing to show for it, but a lot of heartache. Right now, here's the deal. You've got to look at the cell in order to get well. So when we're starting to get to this point where we're having issues with our thyroid, other physiological problems where it's affecting the physiological components of our body, we have to look at the cell. We have to look at the outside of the cell because we all have these receptors around our cells that allow our bodies our cells to bring in nutrition and make hormones and to pass bad things back out of our cells and get toxins out and all this perfect relationship that our cells have communicated with each other. But what happens is when we don't have the receptors working well because they've been burned out because we've been getting bombarded by bad lifestyle choices, whether it be sugar all the time, toxicity, preservatives, inflammation, stress, it can be even emotional stress, they start to break those things down. It's kind of like the very first time you yelled at your kid, right? They listened to you, right? They were scared. They listened to you. They went and did what they were supposed to do. But the more and more you yell at them, did you ever notice they started to listen to you less and less? Until maybe they completely listen to you at all? Well, it's the same thing that happens with our cells and those receptors. So what happens is we got to break the connection in that inflammation chain. So what creates inflammation? Because that's really the root of all diseases, that chronic inflammation in our body. Remember, inflammation is good in spurts, but it's not good long term. And so when you look at that, sugars, big one, right? Bad fats, toxins. Let's look at your typical day of an American and see how many of these things play into your day. So first thing, you wake up in the morning, you get ready, go to the restroom maybe, you come in, you brush your teeth. So first off, what you're brushing your teeth with might have fluoride in it, might have other parabens and other chemicals in there. Again, first exposure. Then we go take a shower, we put bath products on that are toxic to our bodies as well. Right? So we're getting all ready, you get your makeup done, whatever it is, whatever personal products you use, and the average woman uses 10 to 12 personal products, all filled with toxins. Now they're absorbing into your body as you go through your day. Then you go to get breakfast, and the standard American diet is filled with sugar. And so what do you start to eat? Maybe you have the bowl of cereal, you have the yogurt, maybe you have the granola, maybe you have the fruit, maybe the toast, whatever it is. Maybe you throw in a piece of protein, but that's about it. Maybe the orange juice, whatever it is. And again, filled with sugar. Now your body is bombarded with sugar to start your day. Okay, now you get into your drive home, your drive to work, go out of your house, boom, your neighbor's spraying pesticides. You get a whiff of the Roundup right into your body, boom, absorbs into your cells, another source. You go to work, you're stuck in rush hour traffic, exhaust, you're smelling that exhaust, you're getting another toxicity form. You get into your work office, again, maybe this painted the walls in a new building, off-gassing from carpets, you name it, boom, more toxicity. You go to your lunch, again, what do you have for your lunch? Maybe it's the leftovers from the casserole the night before, whatever it is, typically filled with more sugar. And then we get home that day, we're stressed out of our minds because work is this stressing us out, kids, band practice, whatever it is. And we get home and maybe we ate dinner, maybe we didn't, maybe we got home so late, we're eating right before we go to bed. Right? It's usually more sugar because now our body's craving it because we're used to it. We have sugar cravings now. And the cycle starts all over again. So again, no wonder we're having such major issues in our body. But here's the thing. You got to understand that the thyroid is all connected to your weight loss and it's all affected toxicity. So T3 is the feel-good hormone. It's the one that's produced and converted and everything else. It helps you lose weight, feel good, energy. But T4 converts to T3 in the liver. So T4 is made by the thyroid. It goes into the liver. It gets converted there and the gut. But it can't convert that into T3 if your liver is toxic. And if your stomach is all messed up because you've had maybe things eating through your lining of your stomach from bad food choices, environmental choices, just things you were exposed to that you didn't even know, like toxicity, that microbiome, that gut bacteria, it's compromised. It can't convert the T4 to the T3 either. And a lot of times at that point, probiotics aren't enough. Your yogurt you're getting with the added probiotics, not doing it. So you're like, doc, I'm doing all these probiotics. I'm not feeling any change. Well, because there's some more serious things going on there. But all of this leads towards the thyroid resistance and is a sign of that as well. So if you're someone who's taking medication for your thyroid, you're still experiencing symptoms, you're trying to do these things naturally, you've got to make sure you're figuring out where the cause of the problems are. So when you look at this too, when we look at cause, it's not just physical, there's also emotional stress, chemical stress, and physical stress. So the emotional, well, that starts to affect our adrenals. And our adrenals and our thyroid talk back and forth to each other. So most people are in an adrenal fatigue state because they've been stressed out for so long that it starts to now tank their thyroid. Constant stress increases cortisol, interferes with that T4, T3 conversion. And again, that's so typical. People just give, doctors just give you T4, more T4, but it can't get converted, so you still have the same problem. These compete with receptors. They compete for each other. Now you're more fatigued, more weight gain. It goes on and on. Most people don't test for this. They don't test for toxicity. They don't see how your hormone levels are really reacting. And then, of course, we talk about the chemical stress. You get that. You've got to get rid of the source of the chemical stressors. Now, you're not going to get rid of all of it, but there's some things you can do in your own home, things you're putting on your body, in your food, medications, food, personal products that you can control. And you can start to decrease your toxic load, start to heal the cells from the inside out, right? And then obviously we look at the physical stressors. Well, sure, there's pressure on the thyroid from the nerves in the neck. So if you always got the text neck looking down at a computer, you're putting stress on your cervical spine, which is what innervates and controls and moderates your function of your thyroid. So again, if you have bad posture, repetitive motions at work, you're going to have issues there. If that's been building up for a year, 5, 10, 20 years, you're going to have to get some work done to get some things working in there and get function back into your nervous system so you can start getting that communication back to that area of your body. So again, make sure you're walking, getting active, taking breaks from your desk. But remember, you don't start to feel symptoms until you get down from 100% function down to 60% function. Then you start to have the symptoms. Whether that's headaches, back pain, or thyroid issues, it's just a matter of time and consistency. So remember, you can overcome these struggles you're dealing with, but it's a matter of getting the right answers, the right solutions, getting a cause and a solution that doesn't involve just a short-term patch. So I hope you got something out of today. I hope you start to take some things and start to make your changes and start to slowly decrease the interferences in your body, because remember, you need no help healing, just no interference.
Thanks for listening, and we hope you enjoyed today's episode. Please help more people in reaching their fullest potential and rate, review, and subscribe to this podcast. For show notes and other free resources we mentioned today, go to newedgewellness.com.